Hey guys, this is Dartimos with Dartimos Dominions, and I am here with Toolbox, our Pangea player. How are you doing, Toolbox?
Oh God. Hey, Datimos.
So
My
we're
situation isn't looking so great.
this is not very nice of you. You're attacking Fascia. Why are you attacking Fascia?
Wait, what? No!
Yeah, look
Hey!
at this.
No!
You are the attacking army, and the defending forces, the offended forces of Fascia have beaten off your large army of one black harpy.
Exactly. It's
What's up
just
with
not
this, dude?
fair, right?
What's up with the
Yeah.
aggro?
What's well off with the aggression? Yeah, I'm just saying hi, and I just went back. That's all there is to it.
Well, congratulations. Somehow that bird was fighting, but you've gotten a famous hero, which soul butchering, which we were talking about. Do you know what this ability is?
I actually don't know much about it. I know he gets what's I can't remember the name on top of my head. I know he gets fear, but I don't know what else it does. Maybe his fear goes up as the time goes by, something along the lines of that. It's a really rare heroic ability. I don't know much about it
I
actually.
think you get some semblance of death gems for kills, but I don't know like too much. And I think that
Yeah,
you're right about the
I don't
fear.
know much about it. Yeah, you definitely get the fear. Fear is very useful, especially if you're fighting a chaff army like that.
So
That's
so
for sure.
let's look at how the turn's going, and
Ay,
this
ay,
right
ay.
here. This is your capital, and
That's
this is
right.
what's left of Pangea. Now, sadly, we are already on turn 6, and your
That's right.
expand is has been kind of cut out from underneath you. So, do you want to explain what's happened?
So what happened was turn four, fascia. That's how you call it, right? Fascia landed on my doorstep and bump. We had a little bump. He outright destroyed me, and now I have to defend my capital. Yep, that's my life.
Now, the
Yep.
nice thing is that all the viewers probably, if they are watching these in order, have already seen the initial bump. And one of the interesting things about it is that I mean, it looked like you were in a bit of trouble. And I talked with him, and I think it was like a turn or two ago. I was asking him whether he wanted to go for your capital or not, and it looks like he opted to raid instead. Has there been more than just this attack and then the bump here, or is that it?
No, well, I think what Flager wants to do, Fascia, I keep saying it. What Fascia wants to do is he wants to take my capital, some one way or the other. Now, if he was to attack me while I am patrolling, which I am currently doing right now, it's not going to end well. It's going to be very bad for him, because that's 50 satyrs, by the way, if you click on the capital. So with that kind of chaff, he's not going to do very well. And I'm just going to lose chaff, my white centaurs, hardly anything. So, so he could be very sneaky and attack me while I'm not patrolling, or he could just take the land around me so that he gets to keep the land around me and Pangaea itself. Eventually, he's going to win out because he's going to have more money than me.
What's
So
interesting
yeah.
is that you seem to have him stalled though, and I mean I don't know, maybe he's got more stuff up here, but just from what we can see, he's only got one, two, three, and four provinces. And it doesn't. It looks like I mean 100 enemy units. This has got to be most, if not all, of what the troops that he has. So in a way, it does seem like you're holding him off at bay.
Maybe, maybe, but he's trying to trap me in. So if I move into, so I just pinged one of his province there, right there, which is the reason why I sent the burden. He PD dumped, expecting that I would go in there with my white centaurs and cut off his reinforcement. Now, had I done that, it would have been a game over for me. Um, yeah. So he's trying to trap me in and separate the white centaurs from my chaff. But I'm probably going to circle around the capital for a very long time.
I mean, it does look good because if he hasn't attacked Pangea, I would assume that he has a good reason for it. And the only reason I can think of is getting more troops, or maybe, I don't know, waiting around to get some more infrastructure, maybe finish his expand. But
no, all of that's just that's not true. Most likely, I think he will take the lands around Pangea and gonna take the Pangea in the end. Realistically, I can't come out, and if he comes in, then he's just gonna lose that entire army. Now, Abyssia, who happens to be my next door neighbor, he might say hi to me, which is a possibility. But then again, it doesn't really matter because I don't see myself winning this game anyway. So,
yeah, the problem with Pangea is you need to come out of the gate fairly strong. What's interesting is that if you could get this province again and then fort it up, you would be able to have two different forts that you could sneak troops between. And I mean, it's theoretically possible that you could come out of this. Although, you know, I'd say that you probably won't win.
It's that Kirby. If Kirby was a novice and decided to attack my capital, then last turn, then he would have been absolutely crushed. But he's not going to do that, obviously, because he wants to win the game as well. So,
I wonder if your capital is worth all of the provinces that he is not getting. I mean, now theoretically, he might have an awake that's going around here. He might have another army going around here. You can't see anything, but we can see at least these three provinces, and this looks like a rich province, although it is not.
So,
kind of interesting.
So, if you click on that Cerulean Seas, Sea, one above.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice scales up there, right?
Yeah.
It's a pretty nice scale. So I don't think it's an awake pretender like Dadimos is alluding me to be. I think it's a really nice scales pretender with a lot of productivity, which is how he managed to get there should be 43, I believe, colossal light infantry there. Those guys cost. That's an item. That's from a. There's a commander there. There's a mercenary.
Oh, sweet heavens! Where is he? Here he is.
There he is.
There he is. Enigma Scepter.
Enigma Scepter. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's really annoying, by the way.
So you have not caught wind of his. You haven't caught wind of his bless yet, have you?
No, I know his bless. It's if you click on his prophet.
I tried to find him, dude. I can't.
Oh, I found one. It's a commander. It's 2 attack skills. It's 4 water and 4 nature, I believe.
Okay, so it sounds like something that's either okay. Yeah, that's really interesting. So either way, it looks like you've got to at least hold out for a couple turns. I
don't see my coming out this one.
Okay.
Usually, you don't expect to get rushed in turn 4. I did not. I kind of did, but I was hoping that. But the thing is, the Fascia could attack just about anyone. It's 1 and 4, right? So. He didn't have to go for me, but he did.
I mean, to be fair, the water around you, if you look, this extra water right here, and I think that I made one of the maps I had made. I finished the map. I did all of this stuff to it. I went in to edit it, and something went wrong. I created another bug. MapNuke and I find these bugs, and I go through all of this hassle to get the map looking beautiful, and it bugs out. So I went through this one and I made some mistakes. Like this one right here was supposed to be a land province.
Oh God, I knew it wasn't fair. I was like,
I think I was gonna take off a couple more of these water provinces as well, but just didn't. My work schedule's so busy right now that I didn't have another 2 hours to edit a map. That doesn't even. Yeah, I won't go on Map Nuke, but so I guess what went wrong? Was there a way that you could have solved this problem from the beginning?
No, there is no way. That's the sad part.
That's really interesting you say that, because I see it, in my opinion, from what I've seen both sides. I think that you could have, but what happened the first couple turns? Because when you went into here, you had your so you had 2 leaders with 3 white centaurs, or was it 4?
Yeah, it was 3. That was unfortunate. He was not supposed to rush up like that. But
who was supposed? Or I mean, how many white centaurs did you have or how many white centaurs died taking these 3 provinces?
None. It was just there. Which is why I have quite a lot of white centaurs there. There should be 20 something there, circling around.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's not too bad. 21 divided by 6 is 3.
I couldn't make 6. I didn't have enough money to make 6 per turn.
Oh, so you were gold locked. That's fair enough.
I was gold locked. Yeah, exactly. So I think he's trying to stop gold and probably go for the jugular.
What's funny is that this is 156 gold right here.
Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah, that's a really nice province.
So yeah, it is an interesting situation. I'm not as negative as what you are. I think that you possibly could deal with that without the bump. The bump really hurt. How many of those white centaurs live?
No, actually, bump was actually better. Well, the fact that my 2 commanders died actually turned out better than bumping and everybody dying, actually.
Okay.
Because the commanders died, I managed to get my white centaurs back into my capital. So in the end of the day, I saved 3 white centaurs, if you look at it that way. But Kirby had this plan right from the start, so there was absolutely nothing I could have done to avoid it, unfortunately.
Now that I agree with. I don't remember if he said or not, but I know that he was planning on rushing somebody. I don't know if it was just that he mentioned first.
I knew that. I mean, saying no when I knew that I was next to Asia. So
now we went over EA Pan together, correct?
Uh-huh.
And
I'm still in that game right now. Yeah.
Okay, and
I'm in a tournament 13 game right now. So
is there anything in this unit roster that would change what we went over in that episode?
Is there anything in the roster that will change? Right. So you want me to talk about the difference between EA Pan and MA?
Yes, but only in applicable to what you're doing. Is there anything that we would see from this roster that we didn't go over that you're going to use? Like, are you going to be using the Pandemonic, or is it he's not going to be seeing action?
He's very important. Actually, the fact that Pandemonic is the one that is specialized for blood is actually very important, and because you'd rather have blood separate to the
so I guess my question is, are we going to be seeing this in the game? In the next 5 to 10 turns.
That depends on what the fascia does, actually. So if I stay alive or not. So right now I'm probably gonna be making dryads right now, in case if my cap does get off.
That's actually a really good idea. Why? Yeah, go into this.
It's because if I am the god of dice roll, then I might be able to just take his commander outright, which is a possibility. No, I'm not even gonna
Are you gonna get the swarm? Because otherwise, I don't think that there's a chance that you're going to.
Well, I was looking into other options. I did start off with construction too, because I started off with 3 research.
Okay, so you don't get forts off the bat here. You get forts at
No,
Alteration 5. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh. I did not know that.
Yep.
Okay, so your goal right now is to make some dryads to get yourself some seduction rolls.
I don't see myself winning this game.
Okay, I mean that's fair enough.
If I beat Aphasia, then Viscia has a divine glyph just sitting there. It's an awake divine glyph, so I'm not gonna be doing very well against that.
I mean, like, the nice thing is that in these games, especially Dominions, even if you aren't going to win, sometimes you can get your own victories. You can win some battles.
Yeah. You can't win every.
You can outlast Fascia and
hope Fascia's definitely going to outlast me.
Because, see if Relay will take them out for you.
No, that's not gonna happen. I'm not silly like that, Dadimus.
Send 5 nature gems and see what he does, okay?
Oh no way. I'm fine, but like it's gonna be it depends on what Kirby does.
One of the things that really stinks about leaving the general community and is that I used to have talks with Lucid about the Book of Grudges. And we had, I'd always talk to him whenever somebody got me angry, like what Kirby's doing to you, something that's legit, but
it's not really angry. It's just if what Kirby's doing to me isn't really me. It's the position.
Oh yeah, I'll give you that. But his name's still going in the book. It's still going in the book.
I've done this to more people than what people has done to me. So I had a couple essentially. I gobbled up so many nations rushing them.
But I mean, that's the thing is that for me, this would be the point where I'm like, I will make sure Fascia pays with blood for their win. They're not going to win the game. If I'm in your position, dude, I would be fighting tooth and nail to the very end to make sure that Fascia does not get this.
Of course, but Fascia, I don't know what Fascia is trying to do, because if he just, I have no idea. Well, we'll see. But like, it's.
So my question is, how are you going to extract your pound of flesh? How are you going to strike that name from the Book of Grudges because you've got your vengeance?
White centaurs are one of the best sacreds in the game. So
So you're going to be planning on the white centaurs actually pulling. What was your bless that you took to do it? I mean, what? Let's go with the pretender first. What was your pretender?
Right. Take a guess. Take a guess, Dadimus.
Definitely the carrion dragon. Those things are awesome.
Well, if I had, then I would have actually kicked
scales.
If I did, I would have been kicking.
And now we're playing Asphodel.
All right. So I considered 2 pretender chassis options. One of them was monolith. So let's talk about that one.
Are there any other types of this is mine. This is the monolith is my pretender.
Monolith, and I was gonna take Hellblitz, and I was gonna take Fortitude, Regeneration, Blood Bond, and Magical Weapons.
Oh wow.
So I was gonna go away. And I take 2 drains and dump a lot of scales, I guess. But it wasn't that bad.
I think this is what I took on one of my games, something to this extent right here. Right. And I took him dormant. And something to this extent. And it was a really cool build, but I'm not exactly sure if the Hellbless is the way to go. Now I know for a fact you did not go Hellbless because I did not see a pretender. So what did you go?
Right. So I was gonna. It's a really good. That was a really. And if I took that, oh yeah, that's so good. But what I took was a gray one actually, gray one in prison, and I took really good scales. I took 3 research, 3 luck, 3 growth, 1 cold, and 1 sloth. And 2 turmoil.
Okay. Why did
That's
you?
Right.
So 2 turmoil. I'm guessing you're doing this for the main ads, correct?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just go all the
Normally,
way out for 3?
then I can't get white centaurs as many white centaurs. Then
Yeah,
the
that's fair enough.
recruitment breeds are pretty important for
Now, what is
that.
the what's the bless that you ended up with?
3/5. So 3 attack skill, major shock resistance, 2 defense skill, if I recall correctly. A major shock, 2 defense skill, 3 strength. So the strength less for the strength of the earth. I believe I took magical weapons with Astro, and I took 3 undying, 1 one major poison resistance, and low light vision, I believe, and 3 the strength of the flesh.
Okay, so let me
Something
even
along the
this out
lines of
like
that. Yeah.
that and like that. And
Yeah.
what's funny, dude,
There
is
you
that
go.
this is actually the second
There
time
you
that I
go.
made this.
All right.
When I was with Kirby, we were theory crafting what you had made because that's one of my favorite things to do.
Right.
And I think
Right.
that I ended up with this. This is what I was guessing. Instead
Right. So
of
the
this.
reason I took cold was because to me, and I wanted to take double cold actually, but I just took 1
Personally,
because the
with the
cold.
roads, I think that if you go heat 3, and then you go like this right here. Now you could probably do the testing, and then you get 120 more points of holy Jesus. You can get another thing of attack skill and start repelling. Personally, I like the larger
Actually,
blesses at this point. So
I could, but I also like money, right? Right.
money's
That
overrated.
that temperature scale is a huge money thing. 3. A lot of people dump temperature, but that's a lot of money too. So, and I dump temperature a lot. Money is fairly important these days. Just in Dominions.
For me, the double attack skill would be worth the dumping the income.
It probably
Because
is. It probably is.
because I believe that there is lots of money to be had in other people's lands. and,
That's true.
and I
That's
don't need
true.
my scales. Like, don't get me wrong. I think great scales are good, but at some point you need to say my scales are not going to be in all of my land. In an ideal world, if your scales are in all of your land, then you're losing. Like it's just straight up. You're stalled
That's
out.
one way to look at it. That's one way to look at it. But if you are playing a long game, then your scales are what's gonna stick with you most of the time.
And that's
So,
fair. I'll
yeah.
be I don't normally play long
I
games. I
mean,
usually play till turn 50.
it depends on how the game's gonna go, right? If you plan on playing a long game, you do need to that. If you're plan on playing a short game, take a help less.
Yeah, the
I
only
would.
game I've ever had that went beyond turn 50 was I mean I think I ended up getting a sub for it because it got so boring, but I like the early game the best. This is my favorite. So I think you might have a point with that where you say, tank tank your scales a little bit in order to get that late game dominance. Now the thing is that when we were talking about the map, you were a little bit worried about Facia doing what they're doing. Why did you go with a crone and not something that would help you out a little bit more, or did you think that this would help you?
Well, so in the end of the day, I have to roll my dice. Am I gonna be the next target? Am I gonna be the next target? I mean, that's 1 for a chance, right? So if that was going to happen, then that was going to happen. But if that were to happen, am I gonna lose? Right? No, I'm not gonna lose outright, but I'm probably not gonna win the game either. So, it's just yeah.
So you rolled the dice and they came out badly.
That just came badly. It happens. I mean,
Yeah,
you can't win.
I will give you
You
that.
you get so there are times where playing more games leads you to accumulate bad experience. It happens because if you play a lot of games, if there are games you just get rushed. There are games where people will just collude on you, you haven't done anything wrong, but people decide you're the next war target. It happens. It happens. But in the end of the day, you can't prepare yourself against all of that. It just doesn't work. You just have to do the best you can and hope that you're going to win more times than not.
Well, definitely sounds like you're ready for future games, and that this is definitely going to go under a lesson learned, or maybe I mean, do you think that you'll get anything from this?
It's not going to be a lesson learned because what's going to happen? Because if I was really worried about rushing, then I'd have to take something like, if you go to the other screen, if you go to the pretender chest, click on pretender. I would have to take one of the chassis in the Dominion Toolbox right there, and that's gonna fend off a rush, right? But then again, are you going to win the game? Is another question, right? If you are fighting against someone, it's not just about an early rush. You have to play the long game indeed. So, if you manage to win the first round but gonna definitely lose the second round, then why bother? So that's actually a better build, though. I should have taken double attack skill and dumped the temperature. But then again, I would regret it if I managed to survive to like turn 30. Then white centaurs aren't going to be very relevant.
And the other thing is that this lets you get Blood Surge, which I think is vastly superior. And then
they hit really hard though. They go over protection. It has its pros and cons. I mean, with Blood Surge, it's better against killing chaff because you're gonna constantly get Blood Surge active. But if you are fighting against something really strong, you're not gonna get Blood Surge active.
My thought is, if it's big enough that it can take a hit from a white centaur, I'm gonna have to figure out other options anyways.
Right, that's true. That's true. That's true.
And not only that, but Blood Surge. I mean, these are such beautiful stats, dude. I don't know how you can get 3 attack, 3 strength, 1 defense, and 1 reinvig from a 4-point blast. It's just
but
so
you're
beautiful.
on -2 points, right? So
I'd have to figure this out somehow. Personally, I'd probably drop that to 3, and then find. I mean, there's
also because you're doing that with. If you did it with something else, you'll probably.
This right here, absolutely. Getting 15 shock resist lets you be a little bit more resistance. Or probably better is.
Well, you don't have to do that with monolith. If you do it with other chests, cheaper.
This is what I would do. No, because this fends off a. Oh no, it's imprisoned. Crud. Never mind. Ignore me.
Exactly. You're doing that with monolith.
I would do this. If I was expecting a rush, and not only that, but there's 2-point thrown, so you can even do this right here. Oh, but the luck is so
that's silly. That is.
I would absolutely do this.
No, I think that's silly.
This would fend off a rush unless he's really on the ball and you.
The thing is, well, I don't see myself winning, but also much damage face share if he. Depending on what he does. It depends on how. Well, it really depends. If I run into one of his traps and lose all the white centaurs without killing his major army, then I can walk into my capital before like turn 10 even. But if he doesn't, then it's just.
I mean, the thing about the monolith would be that if by turn 12, if he's still sitting around your cap, it frees up your army because it's sitting there and it's sitting there. That's all a monolith does.
That's true. But then again, if you're getting your capital, then you're not in a really good spot.
I mean, the other thing that's really interesting is you could actually do some kind of incarnate bless with him. Maybe try for like a regen bless or something like that. Maybe pump up from Blood Surge up.
No, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Instead of that, if I took the fortitude regeneration, bloodborne with magical weapons, that would have been way
Oh, you know
better
what you could
than
do with this is fire shock. That's
no.
nice. That's shiny. Because then what you can do is you can get yourself swiftness and then defense. That'll give you 3 defense, and then you cover
But
that fire there. That's nice.
elemental resistance aren't really helpful.
Uh,
It's a late game sort of a thing.
I'm gonna elementals are the first thing that whenever somebody's like, how do I beat this? It's like elementals, and if they have the elementals, then it makes my life a little bit more difficult. Now you still find
That's
out
true.
it's the joy of dominion. You can always kill something, but yeah, just interesting.
Right.
But yeah, all of this is theoretical, and I'm hoping that you do hold out because I want to see Kirby pay for his cheesiness.
No, it's a really. I would like Kirby was the first pick, and if I was the first pick, I would have picked something like that and tried to do that. I mean, if you don't usually Fascia doesn't get an island, too. An island stock gets a lot more money than
Yeah, definitely. Okay, dude. Well, we're gonna end it here, and thank you so much for joining up with me. And if you do get knocked out, hopefully we'll see you on the other end of thing on the commentaries. And if not, then I'll catch up with you later, and we can talk about how you ended up holding out. So,
that'll be fun. Yeah, I need to. Well, the thing is, I have to make some choices. I can't just troll around the capital. That's not going to be. So I'm gonna have to, and Kirby can't just. I mean, he has to do something as well. So it's gonna be fairly interesting as to what we're gonna do. If our path cross in the wrong way, then it's gonna swing the favor, and in the end of the day, it's just luck more than anything. So
that's fair enough, dude. Well, thank you for joining me, and I will. Thanks a bunch for joining, and thanks for taking the time to get this interview in.
Sure. It's 2 a.m. in the morning for me. I hope you guys are happy.
Okay, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.